Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We're from Group 6 and we will explain our presentation about discovery learning. First of all, let me introduce the members. My name is Melania Indarnur Febranium and my last student number is 62. And then is Dihar Alma Nabila with student number 58. And Kamsa Hana Salsadila with student number 73. Fitri Ayu Wulandari with student number 74. And Ruth Istiqomah with student number 76. The first, I will explain the meaning of discovery learning. Discovery learning is an inquiry-based, constructive learning theory that takes place in problem-solving situations, where the learner draws on his or her own past experience and existing knowledge to discover facts and relationships and new truths to be learned. Students interact with the world by exploring and manipulating objects, wrestling with questions and controversies, or performing experiments. As a result, students may be more likely to remember concepts and knowledge discovered on their own, or in contrast to transmissions model. Models that are best within discovery learning include guided discovery, problem-based learning, simulation-based learning, case-based learning, incidental learning, and among others. So, in discovery learning, students must be more active in seeking many information, and the information is used as their new knowledge.
Next, there is the characteristic of the discovery learning model. Among them, number 1, explore and solve problems. The goal of exploring and solving these problems is to create new knowledge. Students can find out problems to be solved by exploring information independently according to their knowledge. Number 2, center on student. Students must be active to find information which will be processed into knowledge. Number 3, there are activities to combine new knowledge and knowledge that students already have. And then, the characteristic of discovery learning is that it combines the knowledge that students already have and knowledge that students have just acquired. The aim to solve problems based on the information obtained by students independently. Here are other features encourage students to be able to carry out investigation and then appreciates the role critical experience play in learning.
My name is Ruth Istiqomah. My absent number is 76. Objective and benefits. The following is the purpose of discovery learning. Number 1. Provide opportunities for students to be active, involved in the learning process. Number 2. Train students to think systematically and scientifically in solving a problem related to matter. Number 3. Improving critical thinking patterns for learners. Number 4. Train students in strategizing to improve their understanding of the material being taught. The benefit of discovery learning is that students understanding a concept in learning can last longer because they understand the concept independently through their activeness in digging for information.
Next, the procedure of the application of learning model discovery learning. The following 6 sections and the procedure of the application of these learning models are: first, simulation. The teacher will explain the core of the material presented through case examples. That is, will make the student feel confused, so will encourage them to find out or investigate it to be able to understand the material. Stimulation have important roles that will make students to develop and explore the material presented independently. Stimulation is done in a way to give some questions to the student and to answer questions that the student have to dig for in-depth information to be able to find the right answer. In this part, the teacher will give some explanation by some cases. Then the student have to collect some information, then they can find the right answer. Second is problem statement. Based on the question given to the students, the teacher encourages the student to be able to find a way out of this problem, with how to identify and make a hypothesis or a temporary answer to the question. The problem statement will encourage the student to do the process of identifying and analyzing the problem. The purpose of the problem statement is to train the students to become accustomed to the phase of the problem, so it can find a solution or a way out of the problems that are being faced. In this part, the student have to analyze and identify the problem, then they can find a solution from this problem. Next, the third is data collection. Students have to collect various kinds of information and get with the how to read and understand the literature, observing the object, interviews with some of the speakers. Test that this data will determine whether or not the hypothesis is made. To be able to prove that the hypothesis is made correctly, then the student will actively trying to find everything related with the problem it faces. In this part, the student will find out some sources or information that can prove their hypothesis. So after they collect all the data, they have to processing the data. Data processing. All data is obtained from a variety of sources will be processed by way of a classification or grouping. Data processing is also referred to as a stage of decoding or categorization. The latter will form a concept which makes students have new knowledge, so it can be used as an alternative answer or a way out of the problem it faces. But before actually used, data processing is necessary to prove in a logical manner to decide the appropriateness to be used as a way out. In this part, this is the next step after data collection. After the student collect all the data, they have to process all the data. Then they can make some hypotheses from the data. Next is verification. The data that has been categorized for the mark, going through the verification process to determine whether or not the hypothesis. Verification aims to make the learning process goes well and fun, where the teacher will give the opportunity to the student in discovering the concept, theories, rules, and understanding. This will be obtained through the examples of a case that often occurs in everyday life. In this part, the teacher will give some opportunities to the student that can explore everything they have collected from the data and to presentation their hypothesis.
Okay, the last procedure is generalization. The result obtained in the verification will be used as the basic principle of generalization, where generalization is referred to as the final stage to draw conclusions that serve as the main principle. So, it can be used in all the same event with attention to the result of the verification first. Implementation of Curriculum 2013 by Scripting number 22 in 2016 about process standard using 3 learning models that expected to shape scientific behavior, social, and curiosity. One of the models is the learning model through discovery learning. The discovery or inquiry learning model is understanding concept, meaning, and relationship through intuitive process to finally come to a conclusion. Discovery occurs when individuals are involved primarily in the use of his mental process to discover some concept and principles. It is made by observation, classification, measurement, prediction, determination, and inference. The process above is called cognitive process, while discovery itself is the mental process of interacting and principle in the mind. Okay, now we discuss about the advantages and disadvantages from discovery learning. Advantages. First, students understand the learning material well because they go through the process of finding results so that they can remember them continuously. The second is there will appear a sense of satisfaction because it has found its own result and will later motivate other discoveries so that students will be more active in learning. The third is students gain knowledge with discovery learning that can better convey knowledge in a variety of contexts. The last of advantages is learning this discovery educates learners to learn a lot independently. Okay, the next is disadvantages. There are 3 disadvantages of discovery learning. The first is this method has no change of thinking for students because the teacher has determined at the beginning. The second is the learning technique will give rise to the assumption that there is a mental readiness to learn. Students are less intelligent will find it difficult to think and do other things related to the learning done and frustrate them. The last is it is not effective when applied in the learning to many students because it takes a short time to make them find the solution presented. Okay, I think enough for discussing about discovery learning from group 6. I hope you guys understand. So, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.